the weird thing is I first verbaled to Fordham for softball. I was about to sign the letter, but I ended up breaking my neck on that field, but not playing for them, which is very, very
Fordham's
interesting.
field, but you were playing for St. Joe's.
Yeah.
So you played your freshman year right off the rip.
Yeah, and had a kick-ass year. They were like, what is that? What's messed up is I was still one of the best players in Division I.
And you were doing Roxy Blues.
Yep.
Welcome to Rise Above. In episode 4, meet Bella, former Division I softball standout who overcame being paralyzed from a traumatic neck break, painkiller addiction, and found strength by doing the work and establishing a spiritual connection within herself. Let's uncover this incredible story of resilience.
Bella, welcome
Bella!
to Rise Above.
Bella's in the house.
Bella.
Bella.
Thank you.
What an intro. Wait, all right, what are the tattoos on your fingers? And pull the mic right up to your mouth.
Well, I just did this one again last night.
She has a tattoo gun.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a tattoo for me?
100%.
Oh
Let's
my
do it. I
gosh.
just figured out how to use the stencil sheet on her
I
mom.
forgot. Yeah, you have tattoos. Yeah, she gave my mom a tattoo.
I did.
What would you do if I tattooed Kayla over Holly?
No, I think we should. Why wouldn't we?
Stop it. Okay, now I'm
because
really
it's a
gonna
motherfucking lock.
Okay.
No, really though, like $40 on Amazon. And I did my whole leg, and if
We would go viral.
If I wasn't in
Anything
just
to go
underwear, I
viral.
would take these off, but I did some stuff.
So,
I need to raise.
You have to be close to the microphone, okay?
Okay,
I
but
don't
I'm
want you to
so
forget.
Tall that
Move it down.
Sometimes I readjust the chair too low.
Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, I didn't know.
We're good.
wait, did you raise it?
She raised it.
Oh my god.
Isn't this called Rise Above?
Oh my.
Oh, game changer.
We are really dumb.
You
We are so dumb.
You are.
Oh my
So
god, I didn't know we
dumb.
could do
You are
that.
so dumb.
Yeah, I did those dots too.
How many tattoos do you have?
Well, if you count each one,
How
I
many
tried to make it look
doesn't
like
she
blood
have?
was on that one, and then I was like, okay, I gotta stop.
Wait,
I'm
wait.
like doing drips.
Where is this tattoo gun you speak of?
It's underneath a thing that I found on the side of the road that's very fuzzy, and I use it for split squats.
I love you.
Where do you wait?
She's not kidding.
It's
Wait.
in my house. Is that
where,
what-
yes. No, but like okay, but like where do
No,
you live?
no, we wanted that specific.
No, we want to know like where do you live? Like where is this that's where I was going with that.
Yes.
I live in another place.
Come closer to the mic.
I live
Just pull the mic out to you.
in another place. Want to know why it's my hips tight? It's me.
So,
Hi, I'm the problem is me.
Thank you. And I
you're
can't
so tall.
I know. I feel really.
Oh my god! I think your chair goes higher than mine.
I feel like I rose above.
It's so different without it.
I really.
Okay, I'm
You
done.
can take
Well,
those
now
off.
I look so big
Well, I
compared to
can't
you.
tell what I like.
You can take those off. That's just to make sure you're speaking into the mic.
Can
and we
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
See, I went too low. Now I'm
Too
up.
low.
Okay.
Shorty
done.
get
So,
low.
anyways. So you're not from here. Where are you from originally, my Bella Boo?
I'm from Boston.
Boston.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Yankees suck.
Bostonite. Wait, you don't like the Yanks?
Nobody likes the fucking Yankees.
Are you a Cleveland Indians fan?
I'm a Red Sox fan.
Francisco Lindor was a very,
For
very
like the
good
minute
man.
you lived in Boston?
I lived in Boston for 10 years.
That's why you get it.
And
That's why
also,
you two get along.
Exactly.
also, they are the greatest sports city in the world.
City of Champions.
In the world.
Mm-hmm.
In the universe.
Mm-hmm. You have feelings about this, don't you, Kevin?
Well, he's from New York.
Well, all right. So,
That's where I broke my neck.
oh my God.
Well, that's one way to get into it.
So, anyways, the
wait.
Bronx, not a good place to be if you want your neck. Just
Broken?
kidding. Broken. Snap,
Or not
snap.
broken?
Snap, snap.
Okay. You're from Boston.
Yes, I'm from Boston.
Did you go? Tell us. Wait, how did you grow up? What was it like? Are you a Southie?
No, not even a little.
No.
So I would say actually Worcester. I say I'm from Worcester mostly. It's like the farmy city.
It's a 508.
Yeah, exactly.
I know a 5. I know a 508.
How do you know it's a 508?
He just knows.
He knows No,
Or a
he knows so many
774.
people. It's not
No,
normal.
actually not. It
Really?
was just years ago in my early Manhattan days. I used to date a girl with a 508.
Was she nice?
Was she fucking nuts?
Was she the best thing you've ever seen?
Did she run down to the Packy and grab your mother chocolate crulla?
Really though? Was she from Boston? Because I'm
No.
not from Boston.
She I think Worcester. Is it Worcester?
So I hated the way you said that.
Worcester.
So it's
Worcester.
tough. I'm not blaming you. It's
She said, so I hate the way you said that.
I did hated it, but it's Worcester.
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 It looks like Worcester without the H.
Okay.
Worcestershire.
No, it's a great place. It's like very farmy, like, you know, if people know like Sutton and Grafton, it's like very historical too. Like shit went
like pilgrims.
down where we're from.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of blood in the soil. A lot of blood in the soil. And you feel that. So yeah.
How many, so he doesn't know this, how many, you grew up in a really big family?
Yes, 6 of us, all from the same 2.
6 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents still married.
Still married,
Still
obsessed
going
with
strong.
each other. Yep.
Strong Italian roots, right?
My mother, yes, very Italian. My father,
mother.
very English. So it's
man,
quite.
he just couldn't get that. He just fell in love with that Italian, that love, that
Yes.
like beauty, huh?
Yes, he was so used to the old spam and mashed potatoes. That's what they ate.
And then he got some Italian food in him, and he was like,
Mm-hmm.
6 kids, here we
Yep,
go.
Here, I'll do anything. Yeah. So we all came out a bunch of question marks.
Your poor father. What's the breakup? Boys, girls, how many?
There's 4 girls and 2 boys.
4 girls, 2 boys. Where are you in the pecking order?
I'm number 5. I got the best spot in the lineup.
You're number 5.
Mm-hmm. Best
Youngest
spot
is
in
the
the
best.
lineup. Want to know why? Because in baseball,
I don't know. Is it?
listen,
No,
if
it's
you're
not.
thinking about it
It's not.
in baseball, right? So I was always a leadoff hitter in softball, and I was always like, oh, I'd love to be like the 5 hitter. Because you're right after cleanup, you know, like, oh, you did something great. Or if they don't, then you're there, and you're just like, I'm trying to get the ball in play. And if you do, you're a hero.
And expectations are low.
So low.
So you wanted
expect- they don't expect much of
expectations to be low?
Well, I was more so talking about the fact that my parents were always very worried about, 1 and 2. Poor Mikey. Me and Mikey, 3 and 5. Are those prime numbers?
3, yeah. 3. 1 is like our first go around. 2 gets, I feel like, and then 3, they're still trying to figure it out. So it's like,
Yeah. And then, so I think what I mean by the person after the cleanup hitter is it's just like Bella's okay. Like she's, she has these siblings above, 1 below to keep her, getting mature and responsible. But all of these to be learning from and just to not, suck as much in all the categories, which I still ended up doing, which is great.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's interesting. I feel like with the first child, it's like, oh my God, like they're not sleeping 8 hours or 10 hours. Like,
Is that
holy
how
cow.
you feel?
And then
how you
now-
felt?
Well, I mean, you hear it a lot from parents. I mean, I only have 1 child. How
Right.
I felt? No, my mom, I love you. You're neurotic.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
my parents are, and my dad. You're gonna listen, Dad. I love you too.
You're neurotic?
You like to control things. But anyways, it is what it is. I turned out okay.
I feel like any family, like all the parents that I'm friends with, my favorite parents are the ones with 3+ kids because they just they're like everything is like water off a duck's back. They just like rolling, baby. They are vibing. They are good. Like a window could be smashed, a child's finger could be bleeding, and they're just like zen. Like, and I'm like, oh, I crave that.
A Xanax could be eaten off the floor by a baby,
1,000%.
and they're just like, let him sleep
But
it off.
then I always felt bad for my older siblings.
Why did you feel bad for your older
Just
sibling?
gonna go ahead and
Wait, watch this.
Are those like preset? I got
Dude, that's really fucking. That's the first time he's ever pulled that shit out.
learned-
We're gonna trade seats one day.
I learned how to do like the.
I actually don't want that responsibility.
sounds.
Yeah, no, you might get a little carried away with it.
I would get so carried
Yeah.
away. Someone would be like, say one thing, I'd be like,
no, 1,000%.
And
wait,
I let
so
God
why
in
do
my
you feel
life.
bad for your older siblings? Sorry. We have just fucked this whole thing up
No,
right
I
off the
think we're
rip.
going
okay.
great.
Okay.
No, this is great.
Tell us.
We no more listeners, but whatever. We're
No,
going.
are you kidding me?
We have 3 in Germany.
You know, I have like 300 questions I haven't answered from my first one. We'll talk about that later.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, because I'm just, I know, the laptop thing.
Bella
Yeah,
has a
about
podcast
it.
too.
I do.
Everyone.
I really do.
Shout a plug. Plug it.
But I was just talking to Kevin about, I need a new laptop.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So, yeah, anyways, I feel bad for the first 2 because, well, first 3, because that's when you're a parent and you're, like, trying to do everything right and perfect. And then by the time, like, the 4th or maybe even the 3rd comes out, it's just, like, whatever.
I give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were a lot more lenient, like, with us kids. So I'm always like, thanks for taking it.
Taking one for
I
the
always
team.
tell my 2 older siblings, I'm like, thank you.
Well, you have to think too, when your parents have kids and they have how young were your parents when they had their first child?
22.
Yeah, so they're still growing
Yeah.
up, you know?
Exactly.
Like, my mom had me when she was 21.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude,
Wow.
at 21, there's no way I could keep a human alive.
I could literally.
I could
couldn't
barely keep me alive.
I was just gonna say I couldn't even walk when I was 21. Like, literally, literally. That's why I probably shouldn't have had kids. then.
Speaking of, okay, so grew up in a house of 6.
Yes.
Family, parents still together, loving family.
Love each
A little bit crazy, a lot of chaos.
A lot of crazy, yeah.
A lot of crazy. And then what happens? You grow up. You were homeschooled, right?
Homeschooled, hard.
All 6 were homeschooled?
Yes, except then when we're a lot of athletes in the family. Very competitive atmosphere.
Who's the best one?
Me. Hands down.
I just had to clear that up.
No, hands down. It's not even fun like doing family games anymore because I just know.
Oh, I can't wait for them to hear this.
But
I'm sending this directly to your family
oh no,
chat.
and you want to know what? Each and every one of them will go.
She's right.
Yeah, except for Maria. Maria's So I'm one of 6,
Maria.
very competitive. We were homeschooled, in and out because my mom and dad. We played sports, so it's like that's kind of our ride. My parents owned a Shell gas station in Westboro, Massachusetts, on Lyman Street.
The borough.
And yeah, so like it was homeschooling was more so like not really what it is like today, kind of becoming more so like don't tell my kids what to do. It was kind of that, but also it was convenient for my parents and work because we would do our homeroom time in the storage room of the gas station. We'd flip over the little crates that we'd put the Pepsi and stuff in and sit on them and learn. And then there was programs we'd go into after. They'd pick us up at the gas station. We were off. So it was just more so like easier. My parents wanted us close to them because they were always working. Did it make us weird? Yes. Made us very weird. Did it make us smart? No.
So,
Stop it, Bella. I'm about to homeschool my kids.
You didn't let me
Stop
finish.
it.
are you really?
You didn't let me finish.
Yeah, dude.
Why?
Because the third thing, it made me intelligent. It allowed me to
She learned how to think.
yes, that's what it is. And
She wasn't taught what to think. She learned how to think.
Wait. You just said, okay, yes. Did it make you intelligent? Uh-huh. Did it make you smarter?
Smart.
And you said no.
Because smart is like the plastic boob version of like some like, hard work and boobs.
Okay, I understand the difference between intelligent
gotta
and
write
smart,
that
but
down.
for our listeners, break that down. Like, why did you excel in the
Because
intelligent?
smart is like every doctor that thank God for smart people because I wouldn't be alive.
Mm-hmm.
But also screw the smart people because they're smart is being able to remember information given to you. I think intelligence is what you've learned on your own and have it it so well that it's weaved into you, then you give it to others just by being. That's intellect, I think.
Street
But
smart.
I could be wrong.
Street
That's not
smart?
a fact. Street smart is one way to
I
put
just
it.
feel like
Creative thinking.
Nah, that's
Outside
too,
of the box.
That's too Disney for me.
Keeping an open mind.
Basically, like, if you could survive in the wild, that's what intellect is.
I love that. Yeah. I think that when you go to school and you have a spelling test every Friday and you memorize all the spelling words, But like, do you, like you said, do you actually know those words? Have you like ingested them, chewed on them, like rolled around with them, marinated in them, and then, okay, now it's a part of your, it's a piece of your brain. Whereas like, it's so sexy.
It's all, yeah.
Whereas
Rise
like,
above.
it's like not really, I don't know. I'm homeschooling my kids for a lot of different reasons, but one reason is, for me, I think, like, there is such a culture of, like, the rat race mentality and, like, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. We got to go to this point. We got to do that. We got to sign up for this. If you miss this deadline, you do. And I have very intentionally spent the last year of my life slowing the fuck down and getting really present and really like, now is all I have. And I kind of want to teach my kids the beauty of that. Like, I want my kids to know that, like, there is no rush. All is well.
That's what my mom,
And, like, I'm very acutely aware that I only have so much time left with my kids. Like, Kyla's 11 this month. And, dude, she's going to, like, be gone before I know it. And I don't want to be tied down to, like, we can't travel, you know, dude, like, you're just, like, you're tied down. And I want learning to be fun for them. I want her to be engaged. Like, she hates math, but if we make math about fucking chickens, she'll do math all day, you know? Like, anyways, I think it's cool. I think it's cool that you're homeschooled. I think you're one of the smartest people I know.
Oh, that's a stretch.
And no, you are, but you're one of the biggest thinkers. Like, you're very good at being introspective and, like, getting quiet and able to, like, take a situation and
rise above it.
Yes, but also, like, like, rise above, but even just, like, you can take a situation, you can sit in it, you're not super reactive, and you can come back with, like, something that I would never even think of, you know?
Well, I appreciate that, Kayla.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anyhow.
I like how you talked about, like, there's no rush.
There is no rush.
Right? We get caught up in the rat race. So my ex is from the EU. She's from Finland.
His ex, can I say it?
Sure.
Is it okay?
Yeah. That's
Dude,
fine.
she's like a princess of Finland.
No, she was crowned. She won Miss Finland, and then represented Finland.
That's cool.
In the Miss World competition.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. She's a very nice girl, very grounded girl.
You have to be
very chill.
Yeah.
A great mother to my daughter.
Yeah.
She's great. But something I learned when I would go there, I'd been there probably, I don't know, 8 to 10 times-ish, 12 times.
To Finland?
To Finland, and I would meet her friends. And my mentality versus her, and I'm talking about like her girlfriends, boyfriends, or husbands. Like, I would hang out with the guys and like we'd go sit in the sauna and chill. And like, how I would be talking and the things that I valued. And now I grew up in that rat race. I went to school. I went to college, played sports, played football in college. Okay, you graduated. Now it's time to move to Manhattan and get a corporate job. Wow. Do your internships the summers before you graduate.
Oh, yeah.
Like the whole nine. And I'm going to be very honest. And this, you know, confirms and backs up, you know, your feelings towards homeschooling and Kayla's plan, but I was very unhappy. I was depressed. I was, so I don't know if you know this about, I'm sober, and I had a wicked painkiller addiction.
I was addicted to the opiates in college.
Me too. And when I graduated,
I can't wait for us to talk about this.
I was so miserable working in the city. And I just couldn't tell anyone either. Like, I don't like this job because it was like my identity.
Because it's because you're not feeding your soul. Like our society is built to like destroy the soul. Consume. That will make you happy. And I'm like, wait a second. Like, my spirit doesn't give a fuck if I consume something. Like, it just needs me to sit with it and be well, you know? Like, take care of myself.
Yep. And you just, like, something small that you mentioned when you and I were talking before we started here, you said, I am just uploading, you have your podcast, you're saying, I'm just uploading it and just going with it.
Yeah.
Me, I get anxiety, like, if it's not perfect, like, I get anxiety. I'm like,
yeah.
no, we got to delay the release. Like,
I do
all
the
right,
same thing.
Listen, you want to make sure the product you're putting out there is quality, but, like, I'm just like caught up in like that mentality sometimes. I've built awareness to understand and identify, and I take a step back. You know, when I was talking to you about the first studio we were at, and you're like, dude, calm down. Patience. It'll work itself out. So like it'll be fine. And then of course a week later I'm like, wow, she was right.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, did you have siblings?
I did. I had 2 older brothers. I'm the youngest of 3 boys.
Okay. And yeah, I know you. Okay, cool.
I know you.
You have 2 siblings.
I have a younger sister and a younger brother.
Yeah, so that's
You're the oldest? I thought you were a middle child.
No.
See, that's what's interesting. I was trying to see if that person. That's what I do with like people all the time.
He's the baby.
I find people so interesting. That's another thing I like.
No, this is one of my favorite qualities about Bella. She's a watcher.
I love it because once you understand, and like I don't mean to get into all like the faith stuff, but I will dive right in.
We welcome that here.
We want you to.
I'm like, oh wow. Well, really, when belief is important. Whether I don't care what people believe. If anything, like I want to hear it because I care so much. You know what I mean? And my point is like God loves like some person who we may find smelly and maybe a little bit difficult and maybe even dangerous. Like God loves that person just as much as who you are. And when you think you're great or good or whatever, I love it. So my point is that's why I was interested in asking what sibling, because I'm, but you're youngest, you're oldest, didn't work. See?
That's
how I figured out my facts.
Didn't work?
That's
Look
how
at
I
us. We're on Rise Above. We hit a
like,
bottom. We bottomed out at one point.
That's how I figure out my facts.
I keep finding bottoms. It just when I think I'm done with the bottoms,
you just get the shovel out.
God,
we are
I
not
did
successful.
It again.
But that's life. That's
We're all
life.
on a healing, growing journey.
No, we are. We really are. And speaking of, am I really far away?
Yeah,
from
you
it?
are.
You can hear? Oh, because you have the headphone on.
Yeah, you can just like pull it.
But I also don't want to be the guy that's like,
hello.
yeah, like the pilot.
No, it's not. It sounds great when. Do you want to stand?
Oh, honestly, like yeah.
Do you do your
but it would
podcast
feel
standing
weird.
up?
Yes, I do.
I
it's
knew
a
it.
very tall desk, and I stand. Is this good?
I could see that.
How about I just take it in like I'm singing?
No,
Yeah, but like not. There you go. Is that better?
What does that remind you of?
I really want to just belt once. I want to come in. I want to make it early one day and just belt one song.
I don't know why you haven't.
Because
I'm never early.
You can do it right now. Oh, and then at the end, she's like, I got to run. Bella's got the kids, and I can't leave her there.
I do. I'm always like, I got to go, bye.
Yeah, I am. I know. I have way too much fun.
So
With
Bella
the kids?
is also my, I don't even, like my partner, not my, so.
Their
We're
girlfriend and
We're not
girlfriend.
dating, no.
And girlfriend with Michelle. There's 3 of them. They're
We're
all
all dating.
partners.
Me,
They're
Michelle,
one family.
No, it does feel like you said it best.
Well, I
though.
can't say you're my babysitter because that's like
I'm
such
like
a
nanny. I'm Nanny McFizzle.
She's the
I would say
she's my
you're-
au pair.
No,
Yeah.
you are the GM.
No, definitely
Absolutely
not.
fucking not. I am the CEO of my life.
See, this is what we get invited to.
You're the founder. That over there is the big boss, right
No,
there.
Oh my
I'm-
God, that's so cute that you think that. I wish some days I wish she would be a big boss.
Do you know what I feel like?
No,
She's
I
the
don't.
big boss.
You know what I feel like? I feel like
Bella watches my kids.
I
That's what I
do.
was trying to say.
I do, and her kids
To
are
people.
wonderful and so intelligent. So yeah.
And you're such a light in their lives.
Oh,
and
I
you
do.
are like, it's been such a blessing for me, like, because obviously I have a fight, and when I have a fight, I have to train twice a day. So I leave my kids at night, and to leave them with someone who I know, first of all, is just like an amazing human being and also loves on my kids. You know, like there's a difference between like leaving them with someone who, like, you know, they're going to be fed, they're going to be like, okay. But she's like constantly pouring into them.
Oh yeah.
Like love and truth and like just beauty. And she's like on the floor playing with them, rolling around in the emu poop with them, you know? So it's a beautiful thing. And I'm so grateful for you.
The fashion show you did with all of them and my daughter that day.
I was literally like,
you were
get
in it.
Work
I
it.
was the cameraman.
You were the
Are kidding?
GM.
I
You were
couldn't
the
mess
GM.
around.
She is.
I was.
She's
I
like
was.
She was the
I
boss
love
lady.
kids.
she's the liaison. Like
yeah,
for my
that's a good
children,
word.
she's the liaison. Like she'll come to me like, but okay, so can we do this?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
asking
Bella,
myself.
no, it's 7:45. Like they have to go to
I'm
sleep.
like, can you please just paint this? Like,
Oh, you're an advocate for the kids.
no, like I am a kid.
She is.
She's the boss of the kids.
She's
But
the
a
boss of the
kid.
She's
kids.
the big boss of the
I'm
kids.
like the kid
She's
on
the big kid.
I'm the girl on the playground with the pigtails eating the lollipop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like also
Yeah.
encouraging them, like, hey, look at this stick.
Oh,
Let's set it on
1,000%.
fire.
No, yeah. That's what we did the other day.
I know.
Yeah.
I came home from practice.
I'm gonna get arrested if you say that.
Wait.
No, I approve. I'm the
Okay, good.
parent.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
came
fine.
home from
It's allowed.
practice
It's private property.
and they had a fire going. And we do a lot of fires. We built a fire pit for my birthday last year. And I came home and they had a fire going and they were like doing an obstacle course / like they were warriors.
Obstacle.
Like native warriors. And so they would like run through the fire and like
Yeah.
like embody this like power from like
The smoke.
I'm brave or I'm strong. Like it was like positive affirmations, but like with
Yeah.
like it was so I just sat in the hammock and watched. It was so beautiful.
That was a beautiful.
Positive I like that.
No, it was.
That's just like channeling
That's what
your.
kids need. That's
Yeah.
what we need. That's what adults need. That's why I love
100%.
kids.
But that's what I mean when I say I love that she's pouring into them. Because like I make them do the same shit, but like it's not fun when mom does it. You know,
mom's never. Yeah.
like it's not cool because I'm mom and I'm like, hey,
That's a
like
good
what do
point.
you love about you? And they're like,
You're talking to the girl who grew up with the most beautiful, funny, just charming mother. You could really, you couldn't even find her on a movie. She's so she is a people's people. And growing up, my whole life, all my friends were like, what's your mom doing? Like, let's go do this. Let's go. And I'm just like,
I grew up with the same
no.
mom. I know.
So I know it. I know. And now I'm the person that.
It breaks my heart, honestly. Sometimes it's like it's a little bit of an ego thing. It's not a little
I
bit. It's
think
an
it is.
ego thing
Yeah.
for me where I'm like,
1,000%.
like
You're cooler than your mom? Like, where
no,
was the
my
ego?
kids, no, my
Oh, you
ego
mean with your kids.
and
Got it,
Bella,
got it.
where I'm like, God, they think she's so fun, but guess what? She's my fucking friend for a reason, you know, like
Oh, no,
because
we get
I'm
into
fun
I
too.
love that.
Do you get it? Like
Oh,
in
yeah.
my head,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Uh-huh.
and it is. I will say, in my defense, it is very hard to be a single parent and be the disciplinarian and the nurturer and still have space for fun.
100%.
Like it's damn near impossible, and and that's why. Again, that's why I'm so grateful that I have people like Bella who, because I don't have the bandwidth to be all of them all the time, and she steps up in such a big way, and she's so, like I said, she's so great with them. But anyways, enough about my fucking
But
kids.
there are some weeks where I literally would say, I'm like, I'm the bad guy this week. You're the good. So I know.
No,
what
we're
you
like
mean.
she's a
We
co-parent.
work together. We're good teammates.
Yeah, we are a good team.
We work well together.
It's a good team.
All right. So you are one of 6. You grow up in the Boston area. You go to school. You were homeschooled. You started playing sports.
Yes. So
How you progressed
Yeah,
obviously through middle
family-
school. Well,
She was
your own middle school.
wicked good
wicked
kid.
good. And you know what? Talk about, and I'm going to take, the Old Testament, bring it into the New Testament we're going to right now, because I like what you said about, like, that's why homeschooling's good, is you get this confidence in you that you're a person and you can do things and make mistakes and it's okay. It wasn't until I went to public school, and one of the biggest reasons I went to public school was sports. I was so sick of going to like practice and stuff and being like, I don't know anyone. But I mean, I didn't care, but it was also like embarrassing when you're like really good too.
Yeah.
I don't know why it felt embarrassing, but it was embarrassing.
Self-conscious, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, who the heck is this? And they all want to be your friend, but then it's overwhelming. And
Yep.
it was hard to balance. So, long story long, I just tagged along my sister Maria, soccer player, fantastic soccer player. And what's funny is, you know, we didn't have all the money in the world at all. So my dad's like, sorry, you can't play like club soccer. Like, you can't do that. Like, we can't right now. And I didn't care. Like, all right, whatever. Go to Maria's stuff, get seen by her coaches, but she's older. So talk about just being yourself and just literally just having the confidence to hop in with like 17-year-olds and you're 10. And it's like, that's the kind of confidence that I know I wouldn't have had if I went to public school because I know my personality. Like, if anything, I think that would have been very opposite.
So you were a 10-year-old standing out amongst
16, 17-year-olds, yeah. Because my sister was just everything. She was so fast and strong and quick, and her feet just it was like watching a paintbrush on paper with the soccer ball. It was so cool. And just being like, well, yeah, I can do that. And yeah, just by playing. But that's not even what I played in college. I played softball.
When did you start softball?
I started playing like competitive fast pitch the summer going to my junior year of high school. So I was like,
whoa! So you were like a late bloomer.
I verbally.
Oh my gosh, that's so good to know.
I verbaled to UMass Amherst when I was in 8th grade for soccer. Like, gave the verbal. You know, they give the verbals now, which is the biggest scam in the universe for kids. But yeah, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll play as a hometown kid, sure. I didn't even know. I wasn't even going through puberty. My point is life happens, and yeah, I just got playing softball in high school just as a runner.
So then what happened?
And then they taught me how to bunt, and then I was filthy good.
What's your 40 time?
I don't know my 40 time, but from home to first, 2.7 seconds. In softball.
Damn!
I know. No, so fast that I
look that up. Like what? How? Like what
it's
are
as fast
pros
as a,
doing?
I can't wait till we get big enough to have one of those guys. On the,
Yeah.
one of the guys.
Can you,
hey, look that up.
We could like fake it, and I'll just do it on the side. Like, thanks, Rob.
Just put on a mustache.
Like Joe Rogan has the fucking dude.
Rob, give me the fastest time from home to first.
No, really. Well, I can tell you actually.
What is it?
Well, from a lefty, because you know baseball, you know the diamond. If you're a lefty, you can get there faster to first.
Of course.
Especially if you're slapping, which is like you're already running.
Yeah.
So you should be able to get there in like 2.6 seconds.
Okay.
But I was on the right side.
You were a righty doing it.
I was a hunk of meat. Like, it just...
Dude, I really would... I got to show him a picture of you.
Yeah.
Dude, she was as big as me. She weighed the same...
No
same
way.
I was 153. My last weighing, I was 153. That was the... Was it the heaviest I was? Yeah, I think it was the heaviest. But that's what saved my neck from breaking. But it also broke my neck, which is interesting.
It is interesting.
It's so interesting because it's life.
So
go.
I'm like trying to digest. Did you see that on my face?
I know. I saw you glitch and then get back your network back together.
I was trying to digest all of those things you just said to me, and I
we just
out.
overwhelmed him.
No, he just overheat. He was like,
I wear everything on my face.
No, I do too usually.
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's why I have like all these fucking creases. Yeah. Anyway,
you have a baby face. What are you talking about?
Right here, look at this puppy. I got to get this thing Botoxed out. Well, it's too late now.
Botox makes people look weird.
Why do you think that I'm wearing a hat today? Okay, you have such nice skin. What are you talking about? Anyways,
so
okay,
so 11th grade, you start. Do you want to take the jacket off? Do you want me to turn the air up?
No, I just got a whiff of
I didn't
myself.
wear a t-shirt.
BO's good for you though.
You gotta get the fuck.
Yes, it recycles.
You guys don't smell.
Oh yes, okay, yeah.
Do you wear deodorant? Are you one of those?
I dabble with some stuff.
What is some stuff?
She puts like
oils and sticks.
That's it. So you don't use deodorant.
Seaweed.
You put seaweed.
I'm sorry, what? How come you're just telling me this now?
Oh,
you put seaweed.
You buy
under
me
your
the
arms?
lavender stuff.
Oh, because I go in the ocean and get the seaweed that comes up with the storms.
She really
and
does.
They have
She's
little
not
balls.
fucking around right
They
now.
have little balls on the end that people pay so much for in salons.
She's not fucking
around. And I
around.
scrub them on my pits because I think the little bugs in there really get at everything. And then obviously you rinse off.
God. Are you a hippie? You're a hippie.
Oh my God.
No.
Did you see her tattoos?
I go,
you're
nah.
What are you?
She's got like a whole house full of hanging plants.
You know what? I am a child of God.
Amen.
Oh my God.
Kevin.
Amen.
Kevin.
Okay, so fucking stay on course.
Sorry,
okay.
So 11th grade, you start playing.
You
softball.
start playing.
The
You're
soccer
wicked
coach,
fast.
Yeah, the soccer, because I was obviously the soccer player.
Yeah.
And obviously lived up to like the athlete that I was supposed to be in high school, the freshman coming. And then the softball coach at my school was like, hey, we need base runners. Like, can you run? And I was like, yeah, I know wiffle ball. And I played like baseball when I was little. Like, yeah, I'll mess around. And literally from that moment, I just started playing softball. And then when I started to actually get rid of soccer, which was a huge decision when I was so little, I can remember it was like the end of the world for me. Because my dad's like, we can't pay for college, like, so you're either gonna work at the gas station or work somewhere where you can, or pay for your own college or get a scholarship. So I'm like, sports, let's do it. So basically, I had to pick one when you're good at something too. But I don't know. Now I listen to Patrick Mahomes and stuff, and he was a dual athlete. I don't know. I think it can be done. University of Maine, shout out to that coach. She gave me a double scholarship, like soccer and softball. But I didn't want to do it. It's too much. Like, I got to focus on one craft, you know? Like, because one craft has so many aspects to it. And softball and soccer don't quite merge well. Like, one is on the front foot, one's on the back foot. It's interesting. So, yeah, I ended up doing that and then ended up being kind of good. And then all these coaches just started coming to this small little town in Upton, like, to watch me play.
Division I colleges, universities start coming, scouting.
Hysterical, because I don't know. I didn't, till this day, I still find it funny, too, because I'm like, did I care? No. Nope, not even a little. I was just, like, always excited to get home and eat my mom's food.
Were you unaware of just, like, the magnitude of it? Was that what it
Yes.
was? You were just going through it, taking action, doing the next thing?
I didn't know until I remember after a game my junior year of softball. Now I'm like in it and I'm getting recruited, and there's this girl Shannon Smith who is, you know, this huge player in the town next over. She was going to Kentucky. She pitched at Kentucky. Shannon Smith, we were frenemies. And
who was better?
Love that.
Well, she was a great pitcher. She only pitched that game was in the paper. Anyways,
I think that every girl has a frenemy like that.
You have to.
Oh yeah,
you have to. I think
my rabbit. I called him my rabbit.
I think we would have been frenemies in another.
Oh fuck yeah!
Life.
Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
We kind of are.
We are. I'm like, actually, I hate you. Just kidding. No, really though. I think that it wasn't until like I saw a parent bawling their eyes out because of a catch I made. Bawling.
Their child hit the ball and you made the
No,
catch?
it was, I don't even know who, he wasn't on our team because that would have, I definitely
It was
remember.
just like a thing of beauty.
I caught this foul ball. And it just didn't make sense. A lot of my catches didn't make sense. It was like, because it looked like a AI thing, like a ball to glove instead of glove to ball.
Yeah. It found you.
Yes, and I remember seeing that and then my teammates talking about it, like, oh my gosh. But then I was like, oh, whoa, that's crazy. And it was a guy. So like, yeah.
That he was crying.
And then
it kind of hit you then?
Yes, and then in college, my freshman year.
Where did you go?
I went to St. Joseph's University in Philadelphia, which is weird, Atlantic 10 conference. Yeah. I was behind a car the other day, actually, after I was leaving your house, and there was a car in front of me, St. Joseph's University. How weird is that?
So weird.
The Hawk will never die. Did you know that their mascot was voted #1 mascot because he never stops flapping his wings?
Huh. What is it, like an eagle or
a hawk?
A hawk.
A hawk.
The hawk will never die. That was
We've seen a lot of hawks lately too, haven't we?
Yeah, we have a ton.
So many hawks.
Yeah.
So you get a full scholarship to St. Joe's.
Yep, just bring your toothbrush.
Okay, so after 11th grade, all of these scouts hear about you. You play the first season of softball. Senior year now, were you lined up before you started?
I signed my national letter of intent November of 2012.
And that was the fall of your senior year?
Yes.
And then did they say you can play your senior season or no?
Oh, yeah. I raked my senior season.
Because usually they'll say, we don't want you to get hurt.
Oh, I know. Well, trust me. It was funny. It's interesting because when you have those many options, you really get to like see what your character is. What you pick is the reflection of you, basically. So it was my first question was, am I going to play? I want to play. Like, I'm not trying to be one of those good athletes that never get a spot because you're hoarding all the good ones. And it actually wasn't until Tim Walton, he's the Gators coach, UF. He's the one that connected me with Terry Adams from St. Joe's. She's not with them anymore. And was like, she needs a leadoff hitter, second base, center fielder. You will be like, I wanted like to hear because I didn't care.
You just wanted to play ball.
I just wanted to play. That's all I wanted to do was play. So I moved into college with 3 trash bags.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah.
What was in there? Clothes.
A lamp was in one of them and it punctured through. It was a mess.
Oh my God.
Did
I
it
love
break
that.
like when you were going up the stairs?
1000%.
The first day, like everyone fears.
Not only that, but I was late to the freshman orientation, 2 days late because my sister decided to get married on move-in day. Just kidding, Ashley. But yeah, so we had to drive. Yeah, it was awful. We had to drive from the Berkshires in Massachusetts to Philly, City Ave. And my dad dropped me off, and my dear sweet best friend Jill was underneath the rubble in the car. She just wanted to come for the ride.
So, okay, let me ask you this because I had this experience my freshman year. I played football in college my freshman year. I remember showing up to a Division I program and being like, they were all twice my size.
It's different.
They were all 3 times faster than I was. And I went from like being one of the better like one of the best ones on my high school team,
Right,
and then
the
I
big
go to this
fish.
program, and they're like, "You're redshirted your first year," and I'm like, "What, me?
It's put it this way.
Unless you started, I don't know." By the way,
She's like, well,
probably
actually, I
started.
had the exact
I
opposite
did, yeah.
experience.
No, I did because I narrowed it down to like I wanted to play. The weird thing is I first verbaled to Fordham for softball. I was about to sign the letter, but yeah, I broke my neck there. I ended up breaking my neck on that field, but not playing for them, which is very, very
Fordham's
interesting.
field, but you were playing for St. Joe's.
Yeah.
Was that freshman year?
Sophomore year.
Or you just
So you
jumped?
played your freshman year right off the rip.
Yeah, and had a kick-ass year. They were like, what is that?
What position did you play?
Center field. I know. Got it. I caught a fuzz.
Okay, so you go in your freshman year, you start. How crazy? Wait. Let me ask you a question because I feel like a lot of people. I was talking about this with my brother the other day. Nobody prepares you for college at 18 years old. So like,
Also, you were homeschooled. So can we talk about like,
yeah,
dude?
I had a huge culture shock. I went upstate New York, and I'm from Long Island, like Jersey Shore, Long Island, like Meathead Central. And then I'm like, rolling up to college, and everyone's like, no, you're not it. Like,
Oh my
I've had
gosh.
but St. Joe's is full of those.
but you did the opposite.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
you-
the athlete thing, it's different. Well, put it this way, because I got to see my 2 older sisters. Ashley, my oldest sister, the girl is one of the best, and people laugh, but one of the top cheerleaders that the colleges have ever seen. She was a ring chaser. She went to Columbus State, Stephen F. Austin. She actually was in the movie Bring It On, like in the background.
No way.
Then she ended up, she judged for all these national competitions, and then she cheered for the Celtics for 3 years.
Does she want to be a guest on our show?
Ashley, she would.
I'm always
my
I'm recruiting.
God.
You should,
people.
as you
She's
should be.
married.
As you should be.
I'm not hitting on her. I'm asking because this is such an interesting story.
Well, it is very interesting, but
She's married, Kevin. Like,
No.
come on.
Listen,
I'm not gonna lie to you. Some of the guests he's brought in, I've been like, oh, I gotta move to West Palm.
I'm like, actually,
They're all like tall,
I do remember you telling me
good-looking,
about
like
one of 'em.
very handsome men, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what do they feed you boys up there? Like, what's happening?
even Kevin's interested. Look at him, he's blushing.
I'm
No.
sweating now just thinking about it.
It got hot in here.
It did.
We were turning
did.
up a little bit.
We
Yeah,
were.
it did.
But you know
Oh my
what's
God.
funny? On the way over here, I'm like, wait a minute. Our first 3 guests were all my friends. Are my friends all degenerates?
Oh, maybe.
No,
Like,
but they're
am I-
all like, it is
they
interesting to
degenerates?
me.
Are they
No, but
think
they're
I
all
would-
like, I swear to God, they're all like these like successful, good looking, like literally him.
Yeah.
Like I was like, wait,
Yeah, but single.
No, but we're like,
no, you guys, those are the boys. But I was like, I was impressed with your flock. Like, you know, birds of a feather flock together. I was
Yeah,
impressed.
that's
I wasn't
good.
like,
I
I didn't think they
important.
were degenerates.
I didn't even bring in like the real degenerates. They're all back in New York.
What's a
I can't
degenerate?
even-
All I'm thinking about is Ellen DeGeneres.
So me,
Degenerate.
I have 4 core friends. There's 5 of us, and we're
Oh my
all
God,
best
we have
friends.
4 core friends
We
too.
do.
And we all we're all doing great now. Like we somehow just pulled through but you talk to us when we're 18, 19, 20. All of us have been in the back of a cop car.
Who wasn't?
All of us have had some kind of addiction, whether it's gambling, drugs, alcohol.
Sign of the times, I say.
You all rose above.
We all should have died.
Yeah.
Like, we should not be alive right now. Some of the shit.
But that's the most, I think, intellectual people now, is the people who should have died.
I mean, I tell some people, like, things that I did as a child, and they were like, what?
Yeah, blows their hair back.
Like, are you out of your mind?
I've done things as of last week that would have you
No, she's not wrong.
sleepless.
No, she's not
kidding.
wrong.
She's like, who?
She's also like,
Kayla?
you have to...
We're going to light the hair.
No, the possum that had rabies that I thought had rabies, and I beat it with a shovel, and it was awful.
I don't remember
Anyways.
this. Is this at the house?
Yes. No, not at yours.
Oh.
At mine.
I saw you running with ostriches.
Yeah, the emus.
My emus.
They help me stretch my hamstrings when I run. It's a long
I know.
story.
Everyone thinks that she has emus now. I'm like, I need to start posting more emu
1,000%.
content. Like,
And
this
I'll
is out of
tag
control.
Kayla and like make her name Wicked Small and like throw it up.
She didn't even tag me in the last one. Don't think I didn't notice.
I didn't.
Don't think I didn't notice.
Okay.
You're like,
Noticed.
it went from
I
look at Kayla's cool emus to look at me
You know
with
what?
Kayla's cool emus
I
to
got
look
your
at my
back.
cool emus.
These are now my emus.
I got your back for a second. You just followed our
I know.
podcast,
No, I know. I'm
Instagram.
I'm
today.
really bad at social
See?
media.
I'm like, bro.
I'm sorry. No,
You
I didn't
just
know.
followed us now. Like,
You know
come
what?
on.
I thought I had been following it the whole
Fucking
time.
cool kids over
Yeah.
there.
No. I'm sorry I'm training twice a day and have 2 kids and also a podcast and 4 friends that are
2
fucking
emus.
super demanding and also a fucking Noah's Ark at my house. I don't have time
I'm not
to
a
be on
demanding
social.
friend. Come on.
You're not.
A little bit.
You guys are no. Okay.
Takes
I
a lot
digress.
to love all of us, I think.
I
Like
have a
us
lot of
four.
love to give, so that's fine.
Yeah, you know what? You're built for us.
Yeah, you're good.
What I was gonna ask you, we were talking about, was it a big culture shock? Like, how did you adjust to
Yeah.
college life? Like,
I adjusted terribly. First of all, I was so upset. But now as an adult, I feel stupid for even saying it. So I'll
It's
say
okay.
it because it's okay. We grew up on our own food. Any meat we would get was from a friend. So then when I got to college, my stomach it felt like it was like ripped out, shaken up, thrown into a blender, and then thrown back into my colon. Like, it was awful. So the first 3 months of college, that was a shock enough. Once my body adjusted to the crap, it's interesting. Then I started to be crap, which I think food is thought. And that's when I killed it freshman year. Culture shock as in, like, I'm taking taxis, so I'm getting paid, like, every month because I'm on full scholarship just for food and books and whatever. I didn't know you had to get books. I just pocketed the money. So I would just save.
oh, Kevin had
You
books.
need books?
Kevin had this whole fucking scam in college. He was stealing books and selling them and pocketing the
Good for you.
cash.
You should have.
I had a huge resentment against my school. And I met one of the bookstore managers.
Good.
He showed me where they stored all the books, and they didn't do inventory. I was half off. All
Where'd you go to
athletes.
school?
Albany.
Okay.
Student athletes, 50% off. Big textbooks only.
Meanwhile, I got like convicted when I stole a pack of gum once on
Really?
accident because I put it in my pocket.
Oh my gosh! You know I was banned from Kohl's. You know the store Kohl's. I was
Yeah.
banned from there for 3 years.
Loved Kohl's.
Were you a little
I did too.
klepto? What were you? You were a klepto.
I think
could
I
see
yelled-
it. I could see it in your eyes.
Wait, what's a klepto?
You're a thief.
Yeah, you took
Oh
shit.
When you
no!
pocket.
No?
I'm a. I yeah. I
Are
yelled
you a
at-
love bomber? You're a love bomber.
I just love so much.
Is she a love bomber?
No.
No.
No?
I didn't like.
She's
the
actually
lady.
like kind of a recluse.
What does that mean? You guys are using big words this round.
Well, you know, when you're not homeschooled, this is what happens. So, you know, like when
I
you
memorized
go
the
to,
shit out of those words.
when you're a scholar, this is what happens.
Meanwhile, I
What is
didn't. Only one of us didn't go to college here.
But what will make you intelligent is tell me what it means.
Recluse is like someone who prefers.
I know how to use the words. I really don't know what they mean.
See, that's smart.
He's wicked. No, he's wicked smart.
I am not smart.
No, smart's
Yes,
not,
you are.
If you guys haven't picked up the memo, smart's not good.
I know.
No, but he is smart
That's why
and
I'm not
intelligent.
smart.
No, he's smart
You're
too.
intelligent.
Right, enough about me.
Yeah.
Intelligent.
Smell it.
She went to Harvard.
I did not go to Harvard.
Yes,
I
you
took 3 classes.
They accepted her into Harvard to do a class.
Well, because I had 2 gold medals. I I had
you know
1
what
at the
that's
time. I faked my way in. I'll tell that.
What is that? Because I'm curious.
You know.
What?
What?
I can't say it on here.
Say it.
She's smart. I can't. I have no idea.
What did you say? Just say
I'll
it.
tell you when you're older. But wow.
It looked like you just said macaroni and cheese.
I did.
Because she smells like cheese.
Yeah, I just said macaroni and cheese, exactly.
All right, go ahead.
Your belly took a beating.
Yes.
You
So I
didn't
freshman
buy
year-
books.
Freshman year was great. Like, my point is, freshman year was great. Sophomore year, and I was, you know when, like, the good kid comes back, right?
Can I ask a question really quick?
Wow.
When the good kid comes.
Did you drink before you went to college?
A little bit.
And did you drink more when you went to college? Like, did you party?
Yeah.
Like, I've never been to college, but
Okay,
you hear
so-
stories.
So,
You were into Adderall. I could see it.
yes, and Percocets, that's what got me
Perks.
after I blew my knee apart.
2012.
2014.
So you were doing the blues.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Oh yeah.
No.
Give me the year and let me look at the person. I'll tell you exactly
But
what they were
listen,
doing.
this is what's messed up.
Oh my gosh.
What's messed up is I was still one of the best players in Division One.
And you were doing Roxy Blues.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. 30s.
I'm like, oh.
Listeners, earmuffs.
Yeah. But my point is that
so
was the
lost.
culture shock. Is me, first of all, I guess being like on my own and in Philly, like ripped out of a small town. That was fun. Got a lot of tattoos.
Did you have tattoos before you went?
Yes.
Okay.
I got a few illegals on me.
Did your parents know?
Yes, because prom. Dang it. I didn't think of it.
This dress is so cute.
My mom was like, "Ah!" Yeah. I was like 14. That's so weird.
Oh
right?
my goodness.
But like I said, number 5, it's a sweet spot. You can do those things.
You were 14 when you got your first
tattoo from Brendan Dino.
Who's this? It was
He's one of my brother's best friends. To this day, he's like one of our good friends.
Did you have a crush on him?
No. I almost did, but then he started dating my friend Elise, and they're great.
And then you
they
fell
got
in love with
married.
Elise.
And then me and Elise are married right now, actually. No, I'm just kidding. They just had a kid, and they're so cute. No, Elise was really helpful in my recovery, actually. Yeah, wow, very involved. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, that was my first tattoo, 14.
So freshman year, you go to school, you crush it. You're in sophomore.
Did you
year.
crush it in the classroom too, or
No.
just in?
No.
No.
Oh, no.
I'm just wondering.
Do you know how I got prescribed Adderall?
No.
Well, here's a little. I love the NCAA, by the way. Have to say this. Love the NCAA. They're great. But
Oh my God.
I love the. Did I make that clear? Because I do. But because I was failing classes, because I didn't know you had to go.
Oh, God bless her.
I didn't know what a syllabus was. It was a
Oh.
whole thing. I thought it was an instrument, but my teammates were super helpful because they knew what they were getting. Like I remember the coach introduced me. Looking back at that, it was like introducing like a foreign exchange student.
Like a wild animal.
No, they called me the Creature. That was my nickname from the very beginning. Is the Creature, and yeah, I was failing so bad that they were like, "Well, we need an excuse for you failing." Basically, looking back at it, that's what it was.
ADHD.
So I had to do the whole thing, and so then I had to get in all these hours. It was just so stupid. But in the end, yeah, that's like, it's funny how like they can know you're on this, but it's just the negligence that you would wish college sports like wouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is
they're
that your
like,
foot?
it's my boot. If you want me to put my foot in it, I
No.
can.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
Well, that's it. What else you want to
So okay, so your grades aren't good. You find a way. So manipulation. You find a way. Did you really have ADHD? Did you really need the medication?
Everybody does.
I know, but do you think you needed the medication? Was that the reason for you failing?
I must say, my grades to get a lot better.
Once you started taking it, but were you
1,000%.
motivated by the medication to start going to college? What was kind of give
You
me
know,
the whole,
that's actually a great question, Kevin.
it's an upper.
It is.
I mean, cocaine made me do a lot of things that I didn't want to do.
But I also remember being prescribed the Adderall and being like, well, why not just prescribe cocaine? Like, I remember being like, well, because it's not as, it's like, can make you a little crazy. At least Adderall's controlled. But like, I can just remember thinking like, especially after I got injured, which I'm going to get to right now, I ended up breaking my neck sophomore year. And it was like all over the place because it was crazy. It was a freak accident. And I think with like the caliber of player you are, and that's why I took my story and like didn't run with it. I stood still and spread it amongst everyone who doesn't get like any help or support because they aren't some sort of athlete of some sort or pretty. That's the sad thing too. So yeah, like after that happened, I looked back and realized so much about college. And like you said, like it's manipulative, and they'll know that I blew my knee out right before I broke my neck. I dove into home plate, was safe against Lehigh, the catcher. Blew my entire kneecap up. I have to fix it soon because it's just so bad. But I rehabbed it. I got deep kneecap grooves. If you guys want to Google kneecap grooves, I got deep ones.
Deep ones. She's got deep ones.
I'm blessed.
But that's when you started taking pain pills?
That's when I started taking the painkillers.
Really quick, just for the listeners too. So this time frame, you're in your sophomore year when you break your neck. And how exactly do you break your neck? It was after your knee.
And I blew that the second fall ball game, my knee. And I almost redshirted.
Okay, and then you broke your neck after your knee.
Yes.
How did you break your neck?
Diving into second base.
Okay.
Which I've done a
head
million.
First,
I still
you dive
do it.
into second base mostly head first. Yeah.
But I still do it. Like I will still do it because it doesn't happen.
Do you remember the day? Can we
like
talk about it a
before
little
leading
bit?
up to it.
So like what was going on in your life at that moment? Like at that time, you're recovering from a
knee
torn
injury.
ACL.
I'm addicted to perks, but aware of it. The coaches knew, my teammates knew.
You had just told your dad, right?
I had just told my parents. Like it was, and like you know me, Kayla and Kevin, you get it. Like I'm very much like it's hard for me to like hide something. Like it's very hard for me, like when it's my life. And I was like, I just have to tell you guys, like this is a problem. And it was almost interesting to me. It was almost interesting to me because I was so. I mean, the drugs I didn't even have Tylenol, you know? And so I told my mom, my dad, well, the coaches knew. They knew something was up because I was a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
And
makes you manic.
Yeah, I showed up to practice in a taxi once, and they were like, that's not like her. And
oh, my goodness.
Yeah. But I was there. And so my point is I think that it was after, when did I start remembering? I remember an Australian woman. Who was an EMT at the hospital. That's like my vivid memory, and then on for a few days, and then it gets wishy-washy. I had a vertebral brain aneurysm too, which like that's why things are weird, but at least it burst, so that's good. But yeah, I just remember an Australian lady.
So you
dove into second, hit Allie.
So you were at a game at Fordham.
Yep, I got on base. Was on first. Do you want me to tell you how like the story goes, like from friends and stuff? I could tell you that.
You don't remember any of it?
The actual thing happening? No. I do remember having a dream of me with a white wall behind me eating chocolate pudding, which is weird.
That was obviously when you were in the hospital.
No, it was a prediction, I think, or it was a weird thing. Because that's what's weird is I ate pudding for the next year.
Oh.
In a white room.
Interesting.
But not in my uniform.
Okay. So you hurt yourself. Did you start taking the perks after the knee or
after the knee?
And then
so this is where it gets crazy, dude.
Yeah. All right. Let you take it over. Go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, when I say like my muscle both saved me and broke me, also like the Percocet thing too as well. Because imagine that involved in that injury too when it happened. And I just remember my armpit was burning when I woke up at second base, and my armpit was burning, and I knew that like I wasn't aware of like my body, which like I'm very aware of my body, and I couldn't get up by myself, so I'm like, oh, it's a stinger, and then from there everything just kind of fades. I got to the hospital. They were like, don't move her. My neck was literally hanging on by a thread. And you can just take a human hair and touch a spinal cord and you're a quadriplegic, which is crazy. So I broke my C5, some of my C6. They had to fuse me together, 4, 5, 6. Spinal cord swelling had to go down. I couldn't move. So it was a lot. My father walked into that New York Presbyterian hospital because it happened in the Bronx. And the first thing out of his mouth, and I don't blame him because I was just going through all these issues, and he was just getting fed up, and he was, knew I was better than that. And he told the surgeon and all the nurses, he said, she's not on any medicine, is she? Oh, she's on a morphine drip. He went, nope. I had to do that the whole thing, till this day on Tylenol. And it was those worst moments where I remembered I learned what abuse is, like to be an abuser. I learned that. Absolutely. I learned the beauty of medicine, and why it's good. But I also learned that it is pharmakia, and pharmakia means sorcery, and it's witchcraft. And it's nothing against witchcraft. It's cool, but it's not good to really intermingle your brain with that. It should be an activity you do, not ingest.
Did you resent your father for stepping in and saying no to the morphine? Because I had my first shoulder surgery, my mom tried to step in.
Oh, really?
Because someone else in extended family had an issue with painkillers, and she knew, and she stepped in, and I was like, mother,
literally,
yeah.
That's such a good question. Because I was embarrassed. Because my dad it's like I think being at college, the culture shock is I was able to hide from him, and do all this. And it's just same crazy Bella, but using your gifts for all the wrong things, the wrong things. So when he came in saying that, it was almost like I understood it. But they did ask me after him and my mom left, do you feel safe at home? Stuff. Yeah. And I was like, no, I don't remember that. But yeah, I was definitely he knew best. And when you're paralyzed.
Yeah, so also, by the way, to our listeners, you were paralyzed.
Yes. And
you broke your neck and you were paralyzed.
Yes.
You couldn't move.
And that's why I got into science and all of these neuro things, because once I learned I needed a miracle, it's what C.S. Lewis talks about. It's a miracle is experienced by the senses. It's nothing physical here. Even though you can be physically damaged, if you can believe in miracles, it's experienced by the senses.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long were you paralyzed? Can you walk us through the recovery and this journey?
And I want to hear.
Dude, you're literally sitting here right now. You play softball with my daughter every day.
And I smoke 'em.
You do really well.
I do. No,
the 11 and 5-year-old.
11 and 5. Okay, her 11 and 5-year-old play really rough. Okay, I'm okay, they stiff arm, but yeah, no, that's why I believe in a creator God. I think that everybody goes through something in their life where they have to completely all of a sudden realize that everything you ever thought made you who you are no longer does. Sorry, figure it out. And it's what? All I know is it was Reese's peanut butter cups. I used to love Reese's. Talk about addiction. Blonde. I always had bleach blonde hair. And I wore a lot of ribbons in my hair, which is funny. Oh, I got to start doing that again. I'm going to start doing that again.
Break out the ribbons.
Did you really?
Tiny little ribbons, just little ones. I actually,
I never saw you as a ribbon girl.
I know, but I loved it. And muscle. I was just always a good, decent chunk of muscle moving around. And then when those 3 are away, I couldn't eat Reese's. I was paralyzed and A, didn't have the appetite. 2, you can't when you can't move, blood clots. I wasn't bleach blonde anymore. My roots grew out in the hospital, and I didn't even care. And then, the muscle just completely dripped off.
One thing that I love that gives me so much gratitude just by being in your presence is because of this injury, the zest you have for life and the you just your cup runneth over, you're just you're Kayla, we're walking today, you know? And like, you'll say that and you'll say it to my kids and you'll say, cause like everyone, I think that we all have a tendency to kind of like feel like dwell in the misery a little bit. I know I can get to that point where I dwell in the misery, or I like have a victim mentality sometimes, or like the woe is me bullshit. And that's one of my favorite things about you is like, I look at you and I'm like, dude, like all is well. Like what the fuck, dude? Like we're walking, we're breathing, we're alive, we're here.
You're very grateful. You're very grateful. The 2 times
almost
that I've met
fault,
you, you've seemed very grateful.
It's almost to a fault.
No,
can you be grateful to a fault?
No.
I don't know.
No, well, you can. It could be detrimental at some point. Well,
because I will literally spend an extra 5 minutes doing a pattern that I just realized, because I'm still basically what is still paralyzed. BTW is ankle down. I should say shin, but if I say it, then it will be, and I don't want it to be. So it's like
her toes.
Oh, you manifest.
Big 100%.
You look like a manifester.
You look like a manifester.
What is happening?
Oh wait. So wait. All right. So I want to hear. So we're trying. Unbelievable.
You look like a man.
You look like a man who festers. So, all right. So I want to get into. All right. So you get out. Your father says that you go back to the painkillers eventually.
Nope.
No, that was it. Okay. So then I want to dive into, right? So our society, I think, or at least I'm sober. I'm in recovery. My thing was painkillers. It was Roxy's, Oxys, anything, any opiate.
I like my Perkies.
Yeah, and for me, that wouldn't have stopped me. And hold on, I'm gonna bring this full circle in 1 second. I literally had to I had to be dragged to a rehab against my own will. Like jails, institutions, and death, they say. Death obviously didn't happen, so jails and institutions. Like I had to hit, and the bottom for me is really bad. You have this different approach. You don't do Percocets today.
I haven't touched one since April 18th, 2015.
But God literally paralyzed you.
That's what I say.
But that wouldn't have stopped me. That would not have.
How do you know?
Because
you've never been paralyzed.
Can I say something
It
though?
wouldn't have. So I want to understand your approach, and you talk a lot about.
Oh, you'll get it.
A higher power, a God, faith, manifesting. So I'm open-minded. I want our listeners to hear that it's. Listen, for me, I go to a program. That program works for me. It works for a lot of people. But there are other ways people get sober. And I'm
1,000%.
So I want to hear about that.
No, I love that. And I worked at the NCAA with the whole drug thing, by the way, after. So I get it. Trust me. The thing is, so you don't think I fucking tried to get him. Of course I did. I was like, I get a spinal cord injury. Until I realized that wasn't helping me walk again, like me asking or trying to do that, it wasn't helping me wipe my own ass again. It wasn't helping me be able to just fill up a glass of water for my mom. Like, that's when I started to get real sick of it. Literally sick of it. Going through withdrawals while recovering from a spinal cord injury is not as uncommon as you think. Because, like, my friend Stefan, he's one of my good friends. A lot of people are on drugs when they do have a spinal cord injury. So that was a thing at the rehab facility I was in. And that was awful. That was awful. Like the withdrawals. And then also
So was that like your rock bottom?
100%. I didn't want any of my family to come in. It was a whole thing. I was like, I don't want to. I wanted to die. It was awful. And then that wasn't until I'm like, why am I I was annoying myself talking in my head, but we all do it. Like, it's so funny to me. Sorry, I giggle because
it's that voice.
But what is it? It's not responding to me. It's already talking because it was responding. It was something a little bit before what I always thought I knew.
Mine's always negative. Is yours negative? And it's coming up with
to be.
It's the devil on my shoulder.
Yes.
That's what mine is. Kayla's like, what the fuck?
I'm loving this.
I love it.
It's the devil.
No, because these are the so what you don't understand is these are the conversations that we have in my kitchen at 8:13 when the kids are both asleep, and like we literally just sit here and we talk about God and life and this, and so like I'm enjoying watching this.
Yes, no, but I like that you say that because. I had a dream, and dreams are important. I don't know if you get weird dreams, especially like recovering from opiates. My dreams got crazy. One of my first dreams off of them when I was paralyzed was a woman in a red dress, a blonde woman in a red dress, and all of the shadows of my siblings. It was weird. I like knew it was all of my siblings, but it was a shadow. And this woman in a red dress was walking towards them, and I remember being like, "Why aren't I with them?" And I was like trying to run there, and she turned around, and it was the devil. And I can't even tell you what that looked like. And when I woke up to go and
dude, that's so
I couldn't move when I woke up because I was paralyzed.
Fuck.
So that's when you asked like, the perks. When I say like, God will. I mean, he can do anything he wants. Damage the right people, sacrifice the right people just to talk to you. You know what I mean? So you don't have to go through the physical thing. Because I know for damn sure if somebody who is as, oh, she gets it, oh, he gets it, as me, but roles were reversed, I'd be like, I want to listen to that. And it's basically the fact that whatever it is, whether it's drugs, whether it's a person, a place, a thing, a memory, if you are bound to that, like that's what the devil loves because that can be taken away in a second. Read the book of Job. God allowed Job to be taken of all of his material things, but he said, you can't touch his soul. And the devil said, well, I bet that he'll give his soul to me after I take all of his things. And God said, okay, do it. So then they like did. And then at the end, Job was like, no, and then the devil was pissed because that set the precedent, the gene that was all in us from now on that, sorry, can't touch the soul.
When did you stop listening to that voice? And when did you notice that voice was that impulsive voice? Because that's, here and there I act on it still to this day.
Me too.
Me too. We all do. But there's no perfect people.
And that's why I want the God-man, like the God-man, the one that claimed to walk around in the flesh. That's why I choose him. I am always open to hear other things, 100%. But what I know is, a miracle is experienced by the senses. And I will say that until I die, because when you are an athlete and you need to work on something, or I want to shave my time down, or I want to get out of the box quicker, I'm not exploding out, whatever it is, you can work on it. And it will get better, especially the kind of athlete that I know I am. And like, with that injury, it's like, no, there's nothing you can do. You need a miracle.
So for our listeners, and I have experience with this, so I know exactly what you're saying. You have to take action in order for something to
But what
change.
if you can't even take action? You can't move.
But you said work on your time, or like work towards it, practice, get better, like coming out of the box quicker. Like, I think it's very important to highlight that, miracle doesn't just happen because you let God in, or you let a higher power greater than yourself in. You need to take the action too.
I would agree with that
but sometimes the action is surrender. Like, let me just pause you right here and say that sometimes the action is surrender. Like, I think that's what you two are butting heads over a little bit, where it's like, absolutely you have to take action, but sometimes that means like
to do less. Yeah, I would say that. And I say that too because if you really want to talk about it, I started thinking about what is that voice, right? I'm still talking to myself, but what is that voice? Then I said, oh, well, that's God. Like, really, I'm laying there in Spalding, room 608, just like talking in my own head because I can't stand to look at my right arm. And I'm like, so if that's a thing, then there's a designer. Okay. Ooh, if there's a designer, whoever designed baseball, whoever designed, the greatest athlete and all of I want to know how to do that. How do I walk again? How do I do it? Because if you made everything God, then let's do it. So I do agree with you. You do need to take some action in your head, but I agree with you, Caleb, too. It's the action is surrender and then manifest, like what you said before. I don't even know what manifest means.
I mean, I think it's very similar to like first you realize that like your life is unmanageable, right?
Yes.
Like first you realize like, oh shit, I'm fucked.
So true.
I can't walk.
Yeah.
And once you realize that, you say, oh shit, God, I need you. And then like then you get to work. Yeah.
You keep an open mind. It's honesty, open-mindedness, and then willingness to do so, to take that action. So it's honesty, humility, and taking. I'm like using recovery talk right now.
No, but
taking
that's
that
what
first
it
step.
is.
But I mean,
that's
like,
what it is.
But I think that that's why recovery is such a beautiful thing, and such like I call it healing, recovery, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But when you really get down to like the brass nuts of anybody's story of rising above or overcoming something, like those elements are all there.
Can I tell you
every
why?
time? Yeah, of course.
And this is what's so interesting, and this is why someone like when you look at the science, you want to talk about Harvard?
Tell me, baby.
They Harvard. They did a study. Okay, Harvard Law.
Oh, love Harvard Law.
They did a study.
Oh my God.
When you meditate for at least 30 minutes a day, they did it on like 60 people for over the course of 2 years, because I remember reading it in 2017, which was 2 years after, and I was like, oh my God, it's symbolic. It started when I got hurt. You know, those things you do in your head, which is good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Coincidence or miracle, that's what I say. So my point is when you look at the study, when you meditate, they said sing, silence for 30 minutes at least, it's all of a sudden your spinal cord fluid, gray matter, all of a sudden just gets bloop, 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 bloop. It starts to bubble up from literally just thinking about the Most High.
Damn, see, I told y'all I needed fucking quiet. You see what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. It's science.
It's science. So when you look at it from a scientific point of view, we can see, humans usually who recover from this, or that, usually take the path of this, and that. Oh, well, you ever think that science and true facts from a creator, let's not call it religion, God forbid. We can't because they wrecked it. But a true creator God, he's the ultimate scientist, and maybe I'd listen to him over me trying to figure out how to move a pinky again.
Where'd you learn that? You didn't go to Harvard.
Self-reliance versus God-reliance, right? Like 100%. Self-reliance, where it's like, I'm gonna will this into existence. Like I can only imagine. I spend a great deal of time, Bella, thinking about how I would be if I had been in your shoes.
It's crazy.
Like I do.
No, and
I know that that's the reason you came into my life, right? Because I think that, but I spend a lot of time thinking about, dude, you always talk about like you're gonna do this, you're gonna do like I have a very big ego, and I get real self-reliant.
And
that's interesting. So when I see someone with your story, like you're a great athlete, I'm a great athlete, like, dude.
I'm a great athlete.
Oh, Kevin's a great athlete, but like.
Sorry, guys.
He is.
There's the way he said it.
I some of the videos he sent me.
Really?
I'll have to show you sometime.
We could frizz sometime.
Which one?
I don't know. One of you doing like the splits with your butthole out.
I like a good butthole split.
The old butthole split. I sent you the butthole split.
You did.
The kicks.
Like
And I
literally
ripped my
like
pants.
the first week that I started
I'll
talking to you, I'm pretty sure.
I'll play frisbee with you.
Anyways, back to what I was trying to say.
I sent you the butthole split. Sorry, go ahead.
Both of our moms watch this show.
I love you.
The foam roller that vibrates at the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All right, we're not saying that online.
No. I'm sweating
You
again.
guys got to let me in on that
Oh
chat.
my God. So I spend a lot of time trying to quiet the ego or inside of me and be less self-reliant. So I do spend a lot of time kind of thinking about what would happen if it all went away. Who would I be if tomorrow I wasn't Kayla Harrison, UFC fighter, Kayla Harrison, Olympic
Weird
champion,
to think about.
Kayla Harrison, like who would I be if I was fucking just stuck here like this right now? And like, would I be able to be okay?
And be you.
Would I be well?
Would you be you?
Would I still be me?
Yeah, you would.
I believe that now. But there was a time in my life when, fuck no, I wouldn't.
Right.
I probably would have I probably would have killed myself.
Yeah.
You know, like.
No, that's in the cards for a lot of people. And I know a lot of spinal cord injury people. I know a lot of just athletes who are hard on themselves. I know a wide range of people who aren't here anymore because of that. And it's...
Your identity was this top-notch athlete.
Her identity was her blob of meat versus her.
Yes. I'm telling you, Kevin, I'll show you.
That transition for you, that's incredible.
I'm going to find it while you talk.
That's a rise above story. Like your
know.
transition into reality. So you never played softball again at St. Joe's after that?
No.
And
she couldn't walk, bro.
couldn't walk.
So what? Okay, so like, what was that like? What was
it? Was
the mindset? Did you feel less than? Did you? Feel,
oh, of course, I did.
Did you go through? Did you go to therapy? Like, what happened?
Yeah, I rehabbed So I lived in a rehab facility for 3 months after it happened. So it happened in April. I got out in actually 2 months, June. Then I had to go back to Philly to finish school, but I was also rehabbing there. Because I needed constant rehab. I was very toned up in my right wrist, and that was very painful. So there was a lot of therapy and stuff to do with that.
Oh, so you had to go through physical therapy for everything, because obviously the nerves in the neck, and it went all into your hands, and you're okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, so I broke the neck, but
Yep.
my wrist and fingers were all curled up.
Oh,
no. My bicep actually was overly toned. Like I couldn't go the opposite, like use my tricep muscle. And then my whole...
How long were you paralyzed?
I mean, I want to say like 3 months, but like walking 8.
8 months before you could walk?
Before I could walk with a... Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah,
now
8 months.
8 months...
With assistance.
With assistance. Oh,
after
yeah.
8 months.
Oh,
but
I
like,
needed stability. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But like actually walking, it wasn't until I came down here to Barwis in Deerfield Beach. It's a neurological reengineering program. They basically believe in what I kind of discovered on this journey of, how do I be again? And it doesn't have to be just movement. Oh yeah, look at that thing. Look at that chunk.
That's
of
her.
meat.
Whoa.
That's her.
And the lowest I weighed was 89 pounds after my injury. Isn't that crazy?
Whoa.
Are you going to put it on?
Yeah, I'll show it on the I'll get it
You'll
edited
find it.
in.
Okay, yeah. Edit it
Wow,
in.
you were
Yeah.
like jacked.
So that both helped me and broke my neck, because when it split, it's like cutting an apple in half and having 2 pillows on the side of it. It's like, okay, well, the apple's not going to completely split and fall because it's supported. That's if God trained me for anything, it was to literally protect myself for
How
it.
tall are you?
5'3.5". After my neck surgery, honestly, 5'3". But when
What were you before then?
5'1.5".
Oh, you got taller.
Oh, for sure, they stretched me out, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, okay. I want to talk a little bit about, I ask all the listeners, not all the listeners, all the guests, like, you clearly have had an amazing journey. You've been through a shit ton. You've lived so much life in this short amount that you've been on this earth.
Yes.
I have things every day that I have to do in order to be spiritually fit, in order to be the best, to keep growing towards the best version of me. Do you have things that you, like, what are your habits?
I do, this is going to sound weird, I always try to make myself laugh in the mirror.
I love that.
Every
oh my
morning?
God,
I was just
love
doing
that.
it. I was just doing it right before I got here because I was trying to clap my thighs together, but I couldn't do it because my knees kept touching, and I was like, caught myself trying to do it, but like my knees were touching, and I started dying. I looked crazy.
Wait, so
I looked crazy.
You by yourself making
Yes.
your
Gotta make 'em
thighs?
clap.
You gotta make them clap.
Yeah, I was just trying to
You're
do
just
my...
like, I wonder if I can clap.
No, but I do it that often.
Right.
Because sometimes I can get... I don't know if it's like my body posture, but usually food never went in between before my injury. Since being thinner, it's awful. You lose so much food.
Thigh gap.
Yes, and the thigh gap.
They go right to your thighs?
No, right through the thighs. So I want mine to touch.
She's making a joke, kind of.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I got it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like, I was?
No.
No, I'm just kidding. I know.
I
My
can't-
point is,
can't.
my
I
point
can't.
is
I
talking
cannot.
in the mirror, making myself laugh,
Mm-hmm.
and journaling is a big thing for me.
Inventory.
Yes, and also just people I've met in one day. Like, I get lunch now with people I've met at Walmart. Like,
Are you going to write about me tonight in your journal?
you have no idea.
Wait, so you do this? You do the writing every day? You do
I
the
wouldn't say
writing,
I'm not like a
thigh-
hardo.
The thigh clapping.
You make yourself laugh.
I make myself laugh every day. Just sometimes I'll look at myself really quick if oh my gosh, you guys are, this is like, I've never said this out loud.
Say it.
Like, before I'm leaving for something, and she knows I struggle with being late, and like, I'll like be running out, and then I will rip open the door, be like, dogs don't run out. Run up to the mirror and go, and wave at myself.
I
so
love that.
dumb.
Oh my God, I love that.
But then I'm peeing my pants laughing all the way to the car, just being
Would
like.
you say that you have a good relationship with you?
Yes, and that's what being
I love that.
paralyzed really like for. Like, I sat down myself, I started to I texted you something the other day, like it's so good to hang out with yourself. Like you need yourself. You need yourself.
You have to love yourself before you can do anything. Before you can love someone else, before you can be happy. So like with people with dating, like people are out there dating and they don't even love themselves and they're trying to fill the void with someone else, and then it turns into this narcissistic
100%.
like
Preach, Kevin.
trauma bonding.
Preach, Kevin.
And no, but it's the truth.
you're right.
And like,
That's
so
my
let me ask you this then: do you love yourself today?
I love myself a lot every day.
Did you love yourself before the neck injury?
I loved my muscle.
So okay, so
I loved my power. I loved feeling like
That was an ego love.
yeah,
yes, but I didn't know it. But it's crazy how I genuinely didn't know
No,
it.
it's subconscious. Listen, it's not your fault.
Yeah,
Like,
it's weird.
That part of you takes over. And it drives the bus until something happens and you're like, oh shit.
All I know is the first thing I really got upset
true.
about, and the last thing I'll say, is the fact that nobody asked me to help them anymore move heavy things. After my injury, I was always the go-to.
I ask
great.
you all the time.
I know,
to move
Caleb
shit.
does. She's like,
I'm like, can you pick up
she's
this
like,
bag
I
of emo
can't.
food?
Yeah.
I'm in
She's like, it's
camp.
so
I'm
heavy,
tired.
and she knows it makes me feel good, and I love that about you.
I didn't know it made you feel good. I'm just actually
Okay,
too fucking
good. Well, it
tired
doesn't
to move
make me
it.
feel- She's like, I actually. No, but things like that that's what I realized, and that's what made me not love myself, is because like, I'm useless now for people. But then when I realized I can literally make somebody run just with my mouth, staying in the same place with joy, that sounds more efficient with the given circumstance.
You became very efficient at using your gifts for good.
It took so much though, yeah. Like you said, it takes a lot.
So I know a lot of people who I wouldn't say a lot. I know people, and it works for them, who are California sober. That means they don't drink, they don't do drugs. However, they smoke weed. Do you smoke every day, and how does that help you?
Love weed. I'd grow it on my head if I could.
Yep.
I probably could.
Yeah.
I've never touched an opiate. I just learned the other day, like, what another opiate was. Like, I live with two people, like, in the cabinet. And I was like, what's this? This is a great example. And got to know what it was. And I Googled it, and it's an opiate. And
Kratom?
Nope.
Opana?
It's codeine.
Fentanyl? Codeine 3? Tylenol 3s?
Okay.
Codeine.
No.
He's like, bippity boppity boopy.
I want to know what it is.
But my point is, what
do you got? No, I'm just kidding.
But you want to add, but I'm telling you the truth is, what's the first thing in all of that work and all of that?
Oh, yeah.
And what's the first thing in my head is, well, does it Canada? But why? You have 100 million other things to be doing, thinking about, getting done. It's like, so that's where my brain goes now, but that doesn't take over.
Manifest.
Yes.
Into something greater.
But my point is like, that's always going to be there. But once you get addicted to the feeling of knowing you're safe when you're dying, nobody thinks about dying. And that's the problem. Dying is the most realist thing. They act like it's going for a jog.
So I have a friend, my buddy John. He experienced
near-death experience.
Yeah, he went into a coma.
Amazing.
And from drugs. And he got sober after that. And I'm like, I go to meetings. He doesn't. It works for him.
Yeah.
Like,
have you ever asked what he experienced?
I'm like, dude,
anything?
what the fuck? I'm like jealous, man.
But what did he
Like,
experience? Ask. That's why God puts these people
near
in your
death.
life.
He was at the gates. Like,
that's not good enough.
I know. I've never had that.
You know what God told me?
Deep combo
you know what God
with
told
him.
me? I'm not just gonna give it to you. How about use the brain that I designed to help the puppet move again?
Yeah.
This is plumbing. Plumbing and electrical. We're talking about.
Yeah.
The nerves in all your pipes. That's the body. That's how it works. If you.
It just doesn't make, for me though, it just does. I mean, I never had a near-death experience, but for me, like, I was an addict through and through, like, hard. And, like, I hated myself that much. I was not comfortable with myself. I wasn't secure with myself. We were talking about this last episode. I would be in, like, I don't know, like, battling someone for the starting position, and I couldn't go up against someone because I was in fear of failure. Therefore, I would self-sabotage.
It's the most
and
human.
just, like,
that's the most
fake
human
an
thing.
injury,
but
or
that's the
like,
most human thing.
Yeah, but like even with relationships, I'd be like, I got to find a way. I got to give her a reason to break up with me because it can't be on her terms. Because then now I'm rejected by her. I can't handle rejection. My ego can't handle it. So I'm gonna cheat.
But is that you on? With your addiction?
This was before the addict. This was the thinking, like the
But right, addiction is just a symptom. It's not an actual problem.
Yes.
Like this is what, like,
root of the
trauma and like, like whatever it is that your thing is the root of the problem. Addiction is just a symptom.
It is.
Like, and we all have addiction. Like I have such a newfound empathy and love for addicts because you guys know my sister is a struggling addict, and I used to fucking hate her. Like I used to like
Resent.
why the fuck so much resentment, so much bitterness, so much like anger towards her. Like why can't you just fucking figure it out? Like why can't you just get over this? Until I realized I am also her.
Yeah.
And
isn't that funny?
am I screaming or am I?
No, you're good.
Oh,
Sorry.
No. That's
until I
interesting.
realized I
Dad
am
had
also
to,
her.
Yeah.
And then I also realized that like it's not the problem. Her addiction is not her problem. Whatever she's battling inside of her, like whatever self-loathing, self-worth, like worthlessness, like despair is the problem. But the only person who can fix that is you and God.
And it starts with push-ups. That's what I know.
Oh my God.
No, it really does.
I'm done with her.
It does.
I have one more question for you, for real though. Okay? Look me in my eyeballs. If you were to talk to you, rock bottom Bella, because someone out there might be at rock bottom Bella right now. Someone might be like fucking not wanting to go on anymore and not know what the fuck to do. What would you say to her or them?
To me specifically, I'd say your feet will never end up anywhere where your mind wasn't already going. So why I would say that to me is because I would understand where are my feet and where is my mind? And if it keeps going that way, my mind's going to end up where my feet are, hopefully. I don't want my feet to end up where my mind isn't. And it's kind of like one of those, are you playing more defense or offense things, you know? I would say basically that you are so loved and so pre-thought about whether you believe it or not. I don't care if you believe it, but hey, talk about addiction. If I'm a gambler and my odds are, hey, when you die, do you want to go here with the nice fancy lobster, or you want to go here where everyone smells like BO and it's scary?
You would go BO.
I'm going to try to go for like
The lobster.
the lobster, even though I don't even like lobster.
I don't like lobster
Point
either.
is on a logical level, I would tell somebody that, this is if you're down, if you're like rock bottom, face down, just scorpion down a hill, you have to know that you are so loved, and people don't believe we're worthy of it at all.
You are a child of God with inherent worth and value.
And people need to hear it more. They need to hear it more because you can tell nobody's been hearing that enough because they don't believe it.
Do you think the smart feet, or the feet, as you just described it, is the going out of your comfort zone because your mind doesn't want you to go out of that comfort zone, and then the mind ends up following, and for me it's always that wasn't that bad, and the fear of doing it for me, once I got sober and I was like, holy shit, I could do this. Oh my God, I could do this.
Right.
I could do that.
Right.
Like this, these are the things I used over
Yeah.
symptom using,
Yeah.
right? It's just a symptom.
And that's you.
And the core why I'm using is the fear, is the insecurity.
It's what the devil loves.
Fear does not come from God.
No. The devil's the author of confusion, or else we would have been made in the devil's image. We're not.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I believe. I don't care,
That was said very beautifully.
Yeah, good job, guys. And you know what, Kevin? When you first said my name when I walked through this door, I got butterflies from the bottom of my stomach up to my throat when you just said my name.
I know, because I have a very soothing voice.
I feel like that
voice.
every time he says my name, too.
Yeah. No, but I me and Kayla are always competing for no reason whatsoever.
I am not competing with you.
Yeah, okay. No,
most
he
of
says
the
my
time.
name more butterfly. But no, what I'm saying is that's
You
your
felt welcomed?
That's your sober voice, and that's the voice that you would have had if you could speak from your mother's womb. And that's you. And I like that. So stay you.
Yes.
It's me.
It's
Kevin.
me.
Yes.
Hey, kids.
Mrs. Lanning's womb. Wait, all right. So
This is.
I have a question.
That's all
I know
I'd say
this
is
is
you
like
love.
the most effed up podcast
No, it's a
episode.
beautiful.
That we've had. No, it's
This is
amazing.
like if.
All right, this is very important.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and no, you can't come on my show.
She's definitely not going to invite us on.
No. Wait, so I have a question. So, okay, you have a girlfriend.
Yeah, Michelle.
Yep. So,
And my mom.
no, so
That's my mom's name.
all right, for the young lesbians out there, what were you always lesbian? Was it
just
something
talked-
you
oh,
were
no,
very
this is
comfortable with? Always?
Yes. Well,
Have you ever hooked up with a guy?
Oh,
Are you allowed to share this?
That's all I did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did the guy.
And
I did that thing.
I
and
did, guys.
You realize how horrible it was?
No, I'm more of a. Me and K-Rock were just talking about this the other night. It's a.
K-Rock
you
is
feel
our
comfortable.
K-Rock is our other friend.
Yeah.
Little Kayla.
Okay.
We're basically dating too.
Okay,
But
cool.
yeah, basically it's emotion and intellect that I like. I don't care what's anything else because I'm not. There might be TMI, but especially since my injury, I don't need to be having intercourse 24/7. I'm good.
Yeah.
You have gotten outside of your body and realized that it's not the most important. The physical connection is not the most important thing.
No,
I was just having this conversation with someone today.
but that's it. So that right there is wiped out. So if I were to speak to young people who are just I don't know, I like this tree, that's okay. But you need to make sure that whoever's around you wants to make you better you, not more like me,
I like that.
That's
oh my gosh,
the
that was
thing.
good.
And that's something that Michelle
that.
Michelle is very, very just dear about, because we couldn't be any more opposite in some things. And it's cool to see that actually putting our foot down and being hey, I don't like when you say it like that. She'll say that to me or whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
but it's no, that's a genuine human thing, Belle. I'm trying to make you a better person, not just to me. You can't, have that, or vice versa. I need alone time. I just need to be alone. And that's so, yeah, girl, boy, muffin, I don't care.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Just give me the
Connection.
and the good intent. The good intent.
Yeah. Michelle's is awesome.
She's so funny.
She is.
My
She
sisters
is.
love her.
She's great. I mean,
My sisters love
They
her.
do, and my brothers, but
she's very nice.
No,
They
she's
do.
the shit. That's my Michelle. So we have we call we're the wild women. I don't even know how we became that, but we are.
Me
So it's
neither.
me, Bella, Michelle, who's my training partner and good friend, and then little Kayla, K-Rock, who's also a fighter and best friend. So all four of us have
who would win in a fight?
me.
Me and Michelle versus you two.
Oh my God, we would fucking smoke them.
Wait, paralyzed
Really?
or not paralyzed?
No, now, tomorrow.
Bella.
Me and Michelle versus
I honestly,
you two.
I feel like I would just let you take
You
them.
could just get the
Yeah.
You could, yeah.
I just be the cleanup
You'd
crew.
be the after vacuum.
I'd be all right, well,
You'd be
let
I
me
can take
drag this
one out.
body out
no.
of here.
Well, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with
No,
that.
Bella is constantly head on a swivel, high alert, prepared at all times.
Violent.
And a tiny human with a lot of
strength.
anger. No,
when you believe in the good God I believe, you believe in what the other opposite is.
You're snatching bodies out there.
I'm like Dexter.
What's the what? All right, what? All right, well, so
it was the heavy breathing after. I could hear it in my headphones. You're like, I'm like Dexter. I was like,
no, but I love Dexter.
Never saw it.
He's handsome.
I don't watch a lot of TV.
So, wait. No, so wait. I want to understand, why are you always like on high? Why is the neck like? Why are you always on a swivel?
Well, because
head is always on a swivel.
My head's always been on a swivel, but I've been more calm about it because I know.
Look at her. She looks.
Is it a feat to just someone break into your house when you were younger? Like what? Are you just like ready to roll?
I'm gonna say
fight?
2 things. Boston bomber.
Oh, were you in Boston?
I may have. There's some things that happened that it was too close to my home.
Yeah.
And I'm talking
2013?
Yep.
2013, March.
So it was going into college. Yeah, that's when I
lived in the Back Bay.
Did you?
You lived there?
I lived on Newbury Street.
You know Maria lived on Newbury Street.
Shut the fuck.
No, she lived there for like 3 years. Yeah.
I lived with Santos.
That was the year after I won the Olympics.
In the crack house. No,
dude, do you want to?
I'm kidding.
Can I tell you something so crazy here?
Yeah.
You just like jogged a huge thing in my memory. So, dude, that they asked me to come to the finish line, because I had just won America's first gold medal, and they asked me to come and like congratulate finishers, and I couldn't because I had training.
You never said that.
Yeah.
You would have been right there.
No, I lived a block away from where it all went down. Mm-hmm.
Well, so basically, one night, the 3 nights before, there was 2 men speaking Russian outside of our house.
Oh shit!
In our driveway, smoking a cigarette in the pouring rain. Flash forward to the manhunt. We're on the roof. I mean, we're in Upton. We're about half hour away from Watertown where they were. Long story long. Gave the cigarette butt to the FBI.
Oh shit!
They confirmed it the next summer. It was the little brothers. They were in our driveway.
What
and
the
they
French
came
toast?
They came from Connecticut. They had it all down. They came from Connecticut. In order to get to Connecticut to Boston, you can only take like 3 roads.
Yeah.
Ours is one of the main ones you go. I'm telling you, that moment definitely made me a little psycho. And when I was little, too, finding like an old person dead, that'll do it to you. Because you immediately think, who shot him?
Yeah.
But he wasn't shot.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
No,
it's
it's
all
okay.
right.
But that's why I think I am like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of, yeah.
It's wild.
Are you scared of people going to kill you at all?
I've had I've had 2 break-ins into my house.
Oh my gosh.
One in Albany, one in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't say, I was always like when I was young, I was a fighter because I always had something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say a fear, but when someone breaks into your house, I've always been like, oh, when someone breaks into my house, I'm going to beat the shit out of them. And the New York City, when someone came into my apartment, I came face to face with them. And
that's what I was just going to ask you.
It was the most terrifying thing. Like, I'm 6'2", I'm over 200 pounds, I'm in good shape. Like, I was still paralyzed with fear.
Yeah.
Because someone was in
What did you do?
safe place. Well, I stopped and I was just like looking at them, and the dude walked in. It was a very long hallway. I was probably 20 feet away from them, and I was in my underwear too.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I was looking good.
That's
what I prepare for.
And I was the only one home, and this dude walked in. He took a couple steps and then like looked up, and we both just froze. And he was like, I'm an Amazon delivery guy. I'm in the wrong apartment, and just walked out.
Holy
and I'm
shit.
like, did I just like?
Yeah,
did I really just see that? And then all of a sudden, I was on the 5th floor, lived on the 5th floor. I hear him open up the stairwell door. Obviously, there's an elevator there as well, but he wanted to get the hell out of there as soon as possible. And I hear him like sprinting down, like skipping steps, jumping down.
Yes.
And I'm like, he was definitely just broke into my apartment.
That's a reality, though. And I think that's what makes me always think of that, especially when I had my baby sister when I was little, and that's when it happened. And I just want to make sure that was good. That's why I'm a little crazy with her kids. Like, I'm always teaching them about things in a good way.
Funny. Yeah.
In a good way.
I'm so the opposite of that. Like, and I know that it's because, like, I didn't have my boundaries as a child were crossed inappropriately. And so my thermostat for what's safe and what's not safe is totally fucked up. Like it's not at this, like my temperature, I can't read the same.
Right.
So like I never feel like what would freak you the fuck out.
Right.
I'm like, what are they doing here?
That's
Like,
interesting.
are they okay? Are they
Yeah.
lost? Do they need help?
Kayla would have been like, do you want coffee? Like,
Are
do you
you-
want to come in?
Yeah, no, it's like, it's fucked up. But
That's interesting.
What'd you bring me from Amazon?
No, that's
right. I
actually
was like,
interesting.
oh, I didn't order anything.
Yeah.
What is it? Here, bring me
No,
the box.
I always
you know,
assume-
like.
I assume worst case scenario.
But I will say that becoming a mother has helped me a lot.
Really?
Not with myself, but
with
like
the-
with
Protected.
my kids, dude.
Yeah.
Like it is crazy.
Have you ever had any incidents where you live or like fans or anything? Someone come?
Um,
Are you dead?
I have. I mean,
I'm like,
I've had a stalker.
I'm like,
we know it's 10:02. We gotta go. We'll save that for another day.
yeah, it's true. But no, in everything, I do know that even if I were to get a gun to my head, the last name I would proclaim is the God man, Jesus, because boom, okay, what are my odds? I'll know right then and there. And when it happens to you, the way you go, the Lord calls you home, you'll know too. And if we're just floating, nothing's in space, sweet. Can't wait to be a floating nothing in space with you. If we're going to be angelic people running around and I have no drop foot and I have no bladder issues and I'm just running around like pre-spinal cord Bella, but even better, I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Why not?
The fear has been lifted.
Amen.
Boom.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Bella.
much,
You
Bella.
are the best.
That was fun, and I
We
sweated
love
a
you.
lot.
Yeah.
I did
You
too,
guys.
dude. There were a couple moments.
I don't smell you guys.
You know,
No,
I
there
like
were a
playing
couple
games.
moments I got a
I
little.
like playing games with you, Kevin. We should do that again sometime.
Yeah, sure. Well,
Like
You mean that game
Thanksgiving.
that I won?
Can I get invited to the next fire that
Yeah.
you guys do?
you want to be a wild woman?
Oh my God! Do you want to join our club and jump through the fire? Jump through the smoke?
1,000%.
I
I'll,
think he needs it.
I'll
I
throw
think
my
he-
daughter through it too. Like,
No.
we'll go do it.
I think you need
No,
it.
I would
Or is
really
this an adult
like
thing?
a
No,
it's-
positive affirmation, like you like.
Strike a
Yeah,
pose
do
in
you
the
want me?
smoke.
Yeah.
Also, we like write things that
Oh,
we want
yeah,
to
and burn
release,
'em.
and we throw them into the fire.
We're due for one of
What
those.
do you guys?
We so fucking.
What do I have to wear? Like,
A butt flap.
butt
What
flap?
are you? Because we're women, you have to know what to wear.
No,
we just
no,
like
no,
we
no, no, no,
show up.
no, I
want a
want to
butt flap.
show up and just like.
He's like, I
do
want to come correct.
No, like, what do I like? Do I
That's
run through it?
respectable.
Like
You just run.
He wants to
In a
know if we
bathing
want to
suit?
see his butt. I guess
I
is what
do.
he's saying. I
Like
mean,
in a
I'm
banana
I'm
hammock?
interested.
that.
a banana
I would like
hammock.
like a USA banana
Because,
hammock.
but now
Alright.
then he's becoming like the entertainment for the wild women more than
Yeah.
like becoming part of the wild.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you could just strike a pose in the smoke, I would like that.
Women. You
Okay.
could do your splits through the above the fire.
I could figure something out. Just invite me.
Okay.
Smart feet. My feet will go, and
Oh
my
my
mind will
gosh.
follow, baby.
No,
Exactly, but
I
it's-
do want to have you and Lumi over for a fire. We're probably gonna do a bonfire this weekend.
We should. We have,
be
a,
fun.
we have a lot to burn.
I'm around.
We have so much. to
Oh,
burn.
we know you have a lot to burn.
No, I have quite a bit to burn.
He does.
I'm like, no, we will be fine if we lose electricity
writes a scroll.
for a long time. We got plenty of eggs, and plenty of chickens, and we got a lot of firewood.
That's why I feel safe with you. Yeah.
All right, I'm cutting
Okay.
it. Thanks, guys.
Love you.